Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I'm really pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. Today, we're going to dive into how artificial intelligence is completely reshaping the hospitality industry and what that means for you as its future leaders. This quote really gets to the heart of it all. Adopting AI isn't just about plugging in some new software and calling it a day. No, it's about a fundamental shift in how we think about running a hotel. It's about moving from simply reacting to things to proactively creating these incredible, unforgettable experiences for our guests. And that whole journey, well, it starts right here with a new way of thinking. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about that new leadership mindset. Then we're going to break down AI into what I call its two powerful engines: the logic engine, which is predictive AI, and the creative engine, which is generative AI. We'll look at how they team up to move our operations from just guesswork to laser-like precision, and we'll wrap it all up by looking at what it really means to be an intelligent hospitality leader today. When you hear AI, it's easy to picture some kind of sci-fi movie, right? But the thing is, AI isn't science fiction anymore. It's here, it's real, and for us in hospitality, it's a practical tool that has a direct impact on the balance sheet. We're talking about real-world applications that help you run your hotel more efficiently, and most importantly, make your guests happier. Okay, so how does all of this actually work? I want you to think of AI in our world as a high-performance vehicle. And this vehicle has two powerful engines working together in perfect sync. To really get the most out of it, you've got to understand what each engine does and how they fire together. So let's pop the hood and take a look. First up, we've got the logic engine. This thing is the analytical brain of the whole operation. It's an absolute powerhouse that crunches massive amounts of data to predict what's coming next. I mean, it's kind of like having a crystal ball for your hotel that can tell you with amazing accuracy what's just around the corner. So how does this logic engine pull off its magic? Well, it's all about finding patterns. Imagine a brilliant detective who can look at millions of pieces of evidence, booking trends, cancellations, market shifts, you name it, and see connections that a human just couldn't. It sifts through all that historical data to give us a clear view of the future. So what does this look like day to day? Well, this is the technology that's totally changing revenue management. It's what tells you exactly how many rooms you're going to sell next Tuesday. It's what flags a specific reservation that's at high risk of canceling so you can do something about it. It can even spot subtle shifts in demand from new markets. It's all about making smarter, data-backed decisions. All right, now let's meet the other half of this dynamic duo, the creative engine. If the logic engine is the brains, then the creative engine is, without a doubt, the heart. It's the artist, it's the communicator, it's the engine that takes all that brilliant analysis and turns it into personalized, engaging content for your guests. So how does the creative engine do its thing? Think of it like a gifted musician who has studied every great composer. It learns the patterns, the styles, the nuances of all kinds of content: emails, conversations, even images. And then it uses that knowledge to create something totally new, something that speaks directly to each guest. And you've almost certainly seen this engine at work. It's the amazingly helpful chatbot on a hotel's website that can answer your questions in any language 24/7. It's that welcome email that feels like it was written just for you. It's even the beautiful images you see on social media. It's all about creating those personal touches that make a guest feel truly seen and valued. So, to boil it all down, the logic engine analyzes the past to predict the future. The creative engine uses that insight to create something new and personal. One identifies hidden patterns, the other generates human-like responses. See how they're different? One finds the opportunity, the other helps you capture it. And this is where the real magic happens. When these two engines work together, everything changes. It's the difference between taking a wild guess at what your guests want and knowing exactly what they want, maybe even before they do. You're moving from guesswork to precision, and that, my friends, is a total game changer. Okay, let's walk through an example. Say your logic engine analyzes a guest's past stays and sees they love the spa. It flags that interest. Instantly, your creative engine drafts a perfect, personalized message with a special spa offer. The guest gets the right offer at just the right time, and boom, you've just secured another booking. That's synergy in action. Think about how we used to do things. We'd paint with really broad strokes, right? We'd say, okay, 70% of our guests are business travelers, 30% are leisure, and we'd market to these huge generic groups. Honestly, it was like trying to paint a detailed portrait with a paint roller. But now, with AI, we can get out the fine-tipped brush. We can identify these tiny, super specific microsegments. For example, the logic engine might spot that guests from a certain city are suddenly showing interest in your hotel. So the creative engine can then automatically craft a marketing campaign aimed directly at them, maybe highlighting things they'd find interesting. It's about being incredibly relevant. So, what does this all mean for you? As the next generation of hospitality leaders, your role is evolving. It's no longer just about managing a property. It's about building a truly intelligent, proactive, guest-centric business. You see, when you master these two engines, the logic and the creative, you transform the hotel. It stops being just a passive building, a physical asset, and it becomes this proactive, intelligent business that actually anticipates what your guests need. It's a fundamental shift from reactive to proactive. So as we wrap up, the real question isn't if you'll be using these powerful tools in your career. The question is how. How will you harness these dual engines to create the next generation of intelligent hospitality? The future really is in your hands. Now go out there and build it.